I'm a CPA by trade, and I became a financial advisor about 8 years ago. And all advisors, to a certain extent, when they're starting, struggle with the same thing. You can do warm outreach, you can do cold outreach, you can advertise, you can look at social media, and that takes work and it takes expertise. And you have developed this wonderful platform that has provided this lead system where we can get in front of ideal clients on a regular basis. And so that's huge for financial advisors that are just starting out. And the other benefit of it is that when you're first starting out, how many people can you reach in a specific day? It's difficult because you haven't serviced that many people to begin with, right? And so people don't get enough experience in that, having those skills. They don't really know what to say. They don't really know how to build trust. And it's wonderful training. At the beginning, we were both working out the kinks a little bit, but geez, how many hundreds of phone calls, did we work on over the first 6 months? And after that, you really get a cadence around developing, trust quickly and how to have a conversation. And then, kind of eliminating a lot of those fears around talking to people. Right. And so that's been a huge benefit to me. I've had, just in this last year, I've probably had the ability to reach probably the same amount of people who probably would have taken me 5 years to reach,
Wow.
right? And so that's pretty impactful, right?
Yeah, that's powerful. And we can see that, like, I was looking that the number of policies you submitted this month alone compared to, like, your first 2 months, maybe, like, it's just
Mhm,
growing almost exponentially at this rate. So,
mhm.
um, I guess on that note, like, could you share with us any success stories or tangible results that you've experienced since joining? I understand you had
Yeah.
several mid-size and larger cases that you're working on at this stage as well.
Yeah, like, so at the beginning, it's funny, almost one of the first calls I made actually ended up being a fairly sizable case. It was, 6 figures, right? And in that case, this person was actually interviewing a lot of other advisors at the time. And so it was just a case of, yet again, having a conversation with them, trying to find out what they were interested in, what they wanted to do. And then what we did is, as I do have access to planning software, so I did run a bit of planning for the individual. And then ultimately just do that process of, listening to them and showing them how the tool worked, and developing some planning, really understanding their situation. We ended up winning against some pretty good competition, to be honest with you, right?
Mhm.
And like, funnels is the big word right now. Like, everyone's trying to build funnels, and there are some regular metrics around those that, kind of the first 10%, you, like, out of every, let's say, 100 phone calls, 10 of them you'll have a really good opportunity to do something with them right away, right? And then after that, the next 30% aren't really aware, or you haven't been looking, and so there's a real education process. The next 30% are somewhat negatively disposed to your product, and the next 30% you'll just never sell to, right? Because they're just not interested. They'll just never do business with you, right? And so it is a bit like, there is some skill. I'm not saying that, like, you need to develop some skill and some confidence around your narrative and the rest of it, but it is also, you need volume, right? To find, because people at any one specific time, people are out there looking for what you're trying to provide. And
Mhm.
so, if you hit them at the right time, and then also you have lots of processes where we can come back and keep those individuals in the funnel, I guess, or, we can drip them, I guess, to a certain extent, and then re-engage them down the road, right? And that's valuable. And you have, again, technology and custom tools like your CRM that helps track those things. And so, right now I don't have to use my own CRM to run that program. Like, you have it all contained in your system, which is hugely valuable to me, because then I don't have to integrate everything right off the hop. Like, it's almost plug and play. which is
Mhm.
cool.
I like that you also take a holistic approach out of like 10 leads. You have a home run, you have 30 that are warm, you have 30 that are kind of cold, and 30 that you won't reach. As we kind of continue to grow the program with appointment setters and email follow-ups and soon webinars as well, we've been able to, I know you mentioned we've been able to re-engage even leads that we talked to a year ago and bring
Mhm.
them back to the table. And all of a sudden those could be policies. So yeah, I'd say with our program, like we're kind of in it for the long run, right? We're not just, hey, let's charge you like a couple $1,000s a month and, make our profit and move on. Like we only really win when brokers like you win. So,
Yep. Yep.
it's been very, very helpful having you as a partner and also getting your feedback as we've been refining everything too.
Yeah, no, you guys have been wonderful to work with, Martin, and I say that all the time, is that you and Greg are really just committed to the process and committed to what you're up to, and you're always there, you're always supportive, and I couldn't ask for any better partners to do this work with, so I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you.
But,
Thank you,
yeah,
Mike.
yeah.
And I guess I'll also ask, since you did mention Greg, how has your experience been working with Greg? I know you do regular sales check-ins and talk
Mhm.
about cases and support. How has that been for you?
Yeah, yeah, Greg's a wonderful guy, like, Greg's not afraid of anything. And he's seen so many different situations, right? So lots of times he can bring a different way or a different tact, to approaching a situation that can, help in certain cases, right? And it's always just good to check in with somebody that's kind of just there, engaged, and kind of rooting you on too, right? Because it can be lonely sitting in these offices by yourself, right? So having a little community around you really helps as well, right? So yeah, there's lots of benefits of having, your team around us that are out there, slugging it away on the phones and on, Zoom meetings.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think the ongoing support is feedback we regularly receive. And yeah, as part of the program, we try and be hands-on with regular check-ins and actually supporting on cases as well. So I'm glad to hear that you're benefiting from that. So yeah, I guess before we finish, Mike, would you like have any advice to give to other brokers considering, working with Dundas Brokers on the business owner program?
Yeah, again, the benefits for me is that there is a constant, lead source that, is filling up your calendar every week. I would just, get anybody who's involved, make sure that you understand what parts of your calendar you want to keep to yourself, because there are going to be appointments popping in, on a daily basis to engage. And, yeah, it's wonderful training, and it can help you. And, this is probably the way that the future though, Martin, right? Like, as AI develops and as all these technologies and people adjust, to how they buy and how they interact, this is kind of the future, right? And so, there's always going to be a certain amount of business, at the margins that maybe require in-person meetings and the rest of it. However, this is here to stay, and so, yeah, I think it's a great way to develop your skills and your tools and honestly build a business. The other thing is too, though, is that, we have to make sure that you're technically competent, right? That you know what you're talking about. And because really what this forces you to do is to really have a compelling narrative, build trust quickly, and provide a lot of value to people quickly, right? So yeah, I'd recommend anybody to give it a go. It's been a great experience for me.
Definitely. Yeah. For like, if you are an experienced broker, that's great. But we've been getting more feedback, from brokers that want to learn how to do this. So we are launching a suite of tools and also a deal desk to support
Cool.
with training, not, not just leads and appointment setting, but also training as
Mhm,
well. So
mhm,
hopefully we
mhm.
can reach a much wider pool with that. And yeah, this has been really great speaking with you here, Mike. For those that are interested, you can reach out to Dundas Brokers through our website to learn more about how our program can work for you. And Mike, for anyone hoping to get in touch with you, whether it's mentorship or even business owners looking for help with tax and estate planning, what's the best way for them to reach you?
Yeah, so I have a website, Baker Wealth, and it's www.bakerwealth.ca. I'm pretty easy to find on LinkedIn, and also they can find me through you, right? So,
Perfect.
yeah.
All right. Well, again, pleasure speaking with you again today, Mike. Thanks so much for your time and looking forward to the great successes you have in the upcoming year.